There, everyone. This is Krista Goncalves with Making Lemonade, business mentorship, copywriting, and brand strategy. So listen, I am so excited to be with you today so that I can share with you the top signs that your nutrition business marketing is broken. But I wouldn't leave you hanging because I also have the key steps that you need to take action on in order to more effectively and more consistently and more holistically market your health and nutrition business. And you know, I always say that I come from a place of what not to do in business, in all four of my health and nutrition businesses. So I do hope that by sharing some of my experiences with you, that you'll know that you're not alone in this big wide world of online presence and trying to carve out your niche in this online space, which just changes, it feels like minute to minute. So been there, done that, and again, I come from a place of what not to do in this whole game. You know, I learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I just really want to share those with you today. So here we go. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this together. So come on. There's no question that you've got to be a knowledgeable and experienced health practitioner when it comes to the health and wellness of your clients and patients. But when it comes to the health of your business, you're going to have to learn to be a savvy marketer, and this doesn't come easy for most of us. We simply aren't trained in school much about business, let alone all of the ins and outs of marketing, especially in the fast-paced, ever-changing online space that so many nutrition pros are now diving into, whether that's 100% or just to create an online presence for their offline business. So today I'm going to be tackling why your marketing is broken in your nutrition business and the strategy that's going to fix it that feels more like you. So you could be the best health practitioner in your field, but if you don't have any clients or patients filling your practice, then all of that knowledge, skill, and expertise will soon go to waste. With a sharp rise in the number of health and nutrition professionals flooding the playing field, it's obvious that the importance to show up and stand out above the crowd is not just nice to do anymore. It's a necessity. So why is marketing important to your nutrition business? Well, first, marketing is any method or vehicle of getting the word out about you and your business. Marketing can be obvious and in your face, or it can be on the subtler side. But with such a variety of options that are now available to us, and often quite affordable, if not free, then you've got a number of tools you can have at the ready in your marketing toolbox. And I might add, there are many less icky options out there than there used to be that don't cause you to feel like you have to sell your soul to achieve promotional success. This usually means getting the word out via one or more of the following channels, depending on what the goal of your marketing is. For example, if you want to book more one-to-one in-person clients, if you want to sell a signature group program, if you want to sell online programs, if you want to partner with other brands or be a brand ambassador, and so on and so forth. So some of these common marketing channels for nutrition pros are things like social media, placing ads online, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, or otherwise, using email newsletters to promote your latest blog, promote your latest event, or promote a different type of collaboration that you've been up to. You could also be giving free or low price talks in your community. You could and should be creating and offering lead magnets. These are your opt-in freebie resources. You can also be pitching yourself to various media outlets. And you can be guest posting or guest writing. In addition to these different Marketing channels for nutrition pros, you can also be doing live streaming and posting video content. This, of course, is very hot, very trending right now, and shows no signs of slowing down. I used a word collaborate earlier. You could be collaborating with other like-minded practitioners and businesses so they can spread the word and refer to you. Obviously, you can be using your website, and then that branches out to SEO. We're not going to tackle that today. That's a big topic all on its own, but there's definitely elements of SEO going on in your website and other efforts to try and get found online. Speaking of online, you could be networking online. Of course, networking in person still has great value and should not be dismissed, even if you are 100% online. And lastly, but not least, testimonials and word of mouth marketing, which is super powerful. I mean, who says friends and family aren't helpful? You know what I'm saying? But let's say you've been dabbling in a number of these different marketing tactics already, but nothing seems to be closing the deal for you. You aren't seeing the website traffic, the email conversions, the downloads, the sales, the program signups. It's just not coming together, and you can't understand why. If the health and wellness industry is booming both online and offline, and there is no shortage of people to help them, so then why are so many smart and qualified practitioners and nutrition professionals so darn stuck, overwhelmed, burnt out, and broke? Well, let me share with you some key signs that your health and nutrition business marketing is broken. And you might not even realize it. Now, I'm not going to lie, I am going to share some serious truth bombs with you right now, as I'm going to give you the signs and symptoms that your marketing is just not cutting the organic grainy mustard. And it doesn't matter what type of health practitioner you are, you're also a wellness entrepreneur. And if you want to get high quality leads and finally be booked out, then you'll want to pay some attention to each of these following signs. You aren't getting referrals. In fact, you struggle to get clients at all, or you're getting clients who don't meet your target market criteria. So you end up working with all the wrong people, and in turn, no referrals or quality leads. You struggle with consistency, giving in way too easily to shiny object syndrome, and quality leads just aren't coming your way, and each month feels so unpredictable. You just never know where your bottom line is going to end up. You're offering tons of services, programs, and products, but you're feeling completely diluted, like you're not able to be and do all the things to that expert level that you know you're capable of and that you're trying to project. Your unique value proposition, your UVP, has become diluted, and website visitors aren't even sticking around, let alone your prospects, which again, don't end up being quality leads anyway. And come to think of it, you aren't even actually asking for this sale. You do all of this promotion, but when it comes to selling yourself, that point where you are trying to convert someone, you actually aren't going in for the ask. Continuing on, signs and symptoms. All marketing efforts are focused solely on revenue rather than quality lead generation. You're all about the bottom line. I know this seems contradictory, and isn't that supposed to be what I'm after? But quality lead generation, conversion, then leads to the sale, the profit from your services, products, programs. But in the end, you just don't feel like you in any part of your marketing. And ultimately, you don't believe that what you offer has real value, which then causes you to stumble awkwardly every time someone asks the question, so, what do you do? Been there, done that. The next sign that your nutrition business marketing is broken, you don't have an email list, or it's gone cold. This is usually more the case. You started it with the greatest of intentions, but it went cold because there's no nurturing, there's no engagement there, And social media is where it's at, right? That being the belief, yet have you run ads on Facebook or elsewhere online and your conversions are very low or totally non-existent? This means you're not getting targeted leads to your free opt-in resource when they click on your ad, meaning that your ROI, your return on investment, is probably pretty pitiful. So there is definitely a kink in the system. And by the way, your opt-in freebie is something that you've created based on your knowledge and understanding of your ideal client's pain points and the unique solutions that they need that you're conveniently providing them. And lastly, you're only identifying with being a practitioner and not an entrepreneur or business owner. This may very well be the reason why there is little value placed on marketing in the first place for you. A shift in mindset may just be the thing to move the needle in terms of marketing your business because you are running a business. And that's my cue to shift you from being consumed by all of these signs and symptoms that your current marketing tactics just aren't working for you, into the strategies that will actually work. So I do want to share with you an entire philosophy that I'm really quite obsessed about these days, and that's holistic marketing for health and nutrition businesses. Because throwing crap at the wall and seeing what sticks just doesn't work. And from someone who's tried that approach, trust me, these strategies that I'm going to share are going to be much more effective. Now, similar to the way you probably think of holistic health or holistic medicine as being characterized by treating the whole person while taking mental and social factors into account, rather than just treating the symptoms of a disease or health condition. So just like the amazingly complex human body, your business has so many different moving parts, but it's only able to function at full capacity when all of those parts work together toward the same purpose. So, holistic marketing means recognizing your business as one interconnected unit. This holistic marketing concept or philosophy should be the impetus for aligning all of your content, creation, programs, services, systems, and client touchpoints. A touchpoint, by the way, is anytime a client, patient, or prospect comes in contact with your brand before, during, or after they purchase something from you, including your services. Identifying your touchpoints is the first step toward creating a customer journey map and making sure your clients are satisfied every step of the way. So therefore, the end game that you're trying to achieve with your business should be creating a platform from where you create and deliver a consistent client or target market experience across multiple channels or networks. So there's that word again, experience. So in other words, it's your unified omni-channel marketing strategy that uses your brand foundations as a launch pad. Now that is some pretty powerful marketing. And yes, I will be sure to let you in on what your brand foundations are too. So ultimately, your goal is to create a juicy, right home to mom about holistic brand experience without losing all of that sweet you-ness in the process. Effective marketing starts with solid brand foundations, which equals your roadmap to business growth and success. Brand foundations. Here are those that I mentioned earlier. Let's start right from the top with positioning. Your brand positioning means that your target audience and ideal clients are clearly identified and dialed in. But you've got to ask yourself the tough questions first. Who is my ideal client? So that if you could clone one person, who would they be? Get to know them in every way, then be where they are. How will my ideal client benefit from engaging with my brand? For example, what solutions do I provide to their main problem or problems? How do I fit into my niche? What is my place in my field or industry? Again, brand positioning. Who are my competitors, specifically in this space? What makes me stand out from my competition? What do I do better than anyone else? What's my superpower? Next is your brand promise and core values. Your values should be reflective of what you want to be known for and how you want to be seen by your audience. Secondarily, what do you promise to deliver to that audience every time they interact with you and your brand? The promise and these values need to be enmeshed into every touch point too. Your website, your socials, your content. Upholding your brand promise and actually living by your core values is key. Ask yourself these questions. What do you want your ideal client, now that you've identified them, to take away from your branding experience, from an interaction with you and your brand? What do you want them to feel when they discover you? What do I want to be known for? What do I want someone to say about me when I leave the room? Next up is your brand personality or brand persona and consistency. Now, consistency goes with every single point, but I want to put it in here and give you a really good example of just how important it is to be consistent with the look, the feel, the voice, and the attitude of your brand. These are actually a bridge for your clients and your prospects. It's this brand persona that will draw them to you so that you can leave your sweet, lasting impression on them. But this distinctive mark must also be consistent across all of your touch points because it needs to continue to resonate with your people as they will come to have a certain expectation from you. Okay, for example, you shouldn't infuse a rash of F-bombs in your social posts for effect and expression. I get it. But then turn around and try and clean up your potty mouth in your live streams where people have likely come to expect and probably look forward to your flowery language. Be who you are and who your brand is everywhere. I'm just saying. But you gotta ask yourself the tough questions again. How am I different from others in a similar niche? And how does that difference resonate with my people? Can I harness that difference, but still be me, only a bit better? What's my brand's overall vibe? And does my target audience truly resonate with that vibe in all its glory? Am I consistently showing up, being visible and engaging with my audience, and clearly demonstrating that I'm an expert in my field and or thought leader in my industry and or who I say I am? Next up is brand identity, which is your visual plus verbal identity. Now, most people, when they think of branding or when they are interacting with a brand, they're all about the visual. But for me, and bringing in this holistic marketing and branding philosophy, the verbal aspect of your branding identity is equally as important. So this can be considered the face of your brand, which generally refers to the more visual and design aspects, including but not limited to the following: your colors, your fonts, your icons, your submarks. Also your business name, which may be your own name, as mine partially is, Making Lemonade with Krista Goncalves, which is then incorporated into the logo and your taglines. It's also the imagery, the photos, and the graphics that are used to represent your brand, including those of yourself. Please don't forget those. Additionally, it's the ads and other visual content or marketing materials. However, I've always been of the opinion Like I said, that brand identity does include that verbal aspect. So that's your unique voice and all of the wonderful ways it's used to represent your brand as a whole, whether written or spoken in audio and video content. And yes, that is how you sound. Get used to it. Everyone else is used to your voice. It's a beautiful thing. Please step up, find it, own it, use it. Here's those tough questions. What visual elements best represent me? Because again, you are your brand. Which of those visual elements will also resonate with my audience? What is my true, authentic voice, and am I using it consistently in all of my content and communications? Starting to round this home with our brand foundations, is brand story and storytelling specifically for business purposes. So the history, basically the why of a brand, is a big part of its story. So that means that the programs, products, and services you create and offer are part of that story, as are the people, which may just be you at this point. Therefore, your brand equals you, and you need to tell your story. But a story goes beyond numbers, facts, and figures, and honestly, no one really cares about your resume. They're seeking an emotional connection with you, so please create one. Tough question. How do you reply when someone asks, "So, what do you do?" Or maybe more importantly, why do you do it? And last, but certainly not least, is trust. Your brand trust can be somewhat of an intangible factor, but has a massive effect on a business, its growth, and ultimately its success. By being authentic, honest, and approachable in the way you relate your story will earn you the trust and admiration of your people. There's even a basic equation I like to use for brand trust. It is no visibility equals no connection equals no trust equals no signups or sales of your services, programs, and products. Tough question time. Would my people consider me and my brand to be trustworthy? Have I given them enough opportunities to get to know and like me, the real me, because I've made myself visible and gotten over my fear of being seen? Okay, moving right along to what you're gonna do about your broken marketing and your newfound knowledge about brand foundations. So here they are, the step-by-step actions to execute your holistic branding and marketing strategy. Number 1, clearly identify and solidify each of your brand foundations. Seriously, do not pass go until you've mapped these out, because they are your business's future roadmap. Number 2, know your niche. Target your audience and determine who your ideal client is within that niche. Develop an ICA, an ideal client avatar. Know everything about that one person you wish you could work with over and over and over. Yes, this is all part of your brand's position, but it needs to be its own step. It truly is that important. Number 3, uncover and connect with your ICA, your ideal client avatar's pain points. Really try to understand what it is they need and give them the precise solutions to their problems. Number 4, start creating content around those solutions. Okay? Then show up and promote it everywhere, being consistent across your channels or ideal client touchpoints. Website, email list, socials, local talks, guest posting, your grandma's knitting circle, if that's where your target audience is hanging out, of course. Now, number 5, you want to then get organized and schedule your productivity. Yes, schedule that stuff out like any other task. For example, Do you have an editorial calendar? I live and breathe by my editorial calendar. My calendars, my schedules, and my systems are everything for me. And number 6, simplify socials and do what you can to prevent social media burnout, because it's a thing. So let's bring social media into this holistic marketing strategy, because we all know what a huge time suck it is and how easy it is to get completely, utterly, totally burnt out on it. And that's pretty darn unholistic, if I do say so. So if you were thinking that the strategy is having to be constantly rapid fire posting on socials, let's simplify. And first, let's focus on just one social media platform for now. Pick one where you know your target audience is hanging out and create a posting plan that works around that one platform. For the Making Lemonade community, we're all about Instagram. We're over at Lemonade Health. If you do want to connect, I am just in love with Instagram these days. Next, you want to set boundaries, especially around the time that you spend on social media. For example, turning your daily notifications off, not checking socials, or using a digital device at least 1 hour before bed. Don't use it, is what I meant. And unplugging at least one full day per week. I know that might seem unthinkable at this point. Once you get into the practice of it, you can even use an app to limit your time on socials. Next, again, plan out and schedule. Schedule. Auto post in advance. Systems and automation when and wherever possible. It will bring you will find time you didn't even realize you had. So planning, scheduling, auto-publishing apps, and I actually do this for a week at a time, and I can't tell you how much time it's saved me, and so much less falling down that rabbit hole. So then focusing on your non-work, non-social media life more. Like seriously, I urge you to take regular breaks from your digital life. Your business will benefit from it because you won't be so burnt out. Now, lastly, with simplifying these socials is finding other ways to engage and connect with your audience that are not social media. Now, I personally do this because I really feel like there are so many other ways to connect with your audience, increase your visibility, and boost your credibility, credibility, that are not via social media. You just have to kind of think outside that social box that we seem to put ourselves into, because it's what all of the tech and digital marketing media gurus are telling us is where it's at. Not so, still so many other valuable places that you can be showing up, connecting, and again, boosting that that is a tough word for me today, credibility, and increasing your visibility. And that is blog articles on your own website. That is guest posting on other people's blogs. That is platishing. I know, I really just discovered this new squashed together term, which means platform plus publishing, and that's places like Medium, the HuffPost, Thrive Global with Arianna Huffington, the Elephant Journal, and there's so many of these great platforms where they open it up to free contributors these days. You can also be podcasting and audio blogging and webcasting and vlogging or video blogging. And you can be doing local talks and in-person events. Did you know that even though I have been exclusively online, 100% a virtual business for over 4 years, I still do in-person talks, and it still works amazing. I interject myself where I know my audience is hanging out in person locally, and I just get a sense of real in-person community. As much as I love my online community, it really keeps me connected in different ways. And it's amazing for marketing. And then, of course, there's those e-newsletters and email marketing as well. Extremely powerful. Not going to go into the ins and outs of email marketing, but just wanted to make sure you knew that was considered a non-social media way to connect with your audience. Increase your visibility and boost your, I'm going to get this, credibility. So these are the exact things that I did to increase my own visibility, boost my cred as a women's health and nutrition expert when I first started my nutritional counseling business over 6 years ago. And none of them had anything to do with social media because it really wasn't as big a thing back then. But these are still very effective tactics today, especially when it comes to staying balanced. So this is not getting burnt out or losing your you-ness while still creating your omni-channel marketing and brand experience. Hey everyone. Listen, the key message that I'm hoping you'll take home is that by building your nutrition business using a more holistic but consistent approach to marketing and branding means that your verbal plus visual brand identity, that look, feel, and vibe you're putting out there will be so much better aligned with who you actually are. And that is what is going to sell you, your services, products, and programs. Because holistic marketing plus creating a brand experience rather than just branding equals nutrition business growth. Thanks so much for sharing with me today, and I do hope that by sharing a few of my own experiences with you related to this concept of a more holistic marketing strategy, that you'll know there is a better way to market yourself and your business, and one that still allows you to feel authentic, genuine, and like you haven't sold your soul for the sake of generating revenue. And believe me, I've tried it the other way. So much randomness and trying to be something in someone I simply wasn't. So if you enjoy this presentation and all of these nutrition business tips and tools, feel free to connect with me over at KristaGoncalves.com and everywhere on socials at Lemonade Health. Thanks everyone, and I wish you every success in juicing up your health and nutrition business with the holistic marketing strategy that feels good to you. I also can't wait to have a sweet brand experience with you in the near future.